Hi, I'm Keting Lin. I was born in Guangzhou, southern part of China. I received a bachelor degree in advertising in South China University of Technology, and now I'm a second-year IRPS student focusing on international management, with regional focus in comparing China and Latin America.
Hi, my name is Kamla Tung. I'm from Phoenix, Arizona. I was born in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, but moved over to Arizona when I was 3. I graduated from Arizona State University in 2011 with a degree in communications and Chinese. I'm currently a first-year student here at IRPS, focusing on China and international politics.
So what did you do before the program?
So I had a gap year between graduating from undergrad and coming here, and I decided to work as an elementary school teacher at a private school in Tempe, teaching social studies and English. How about you, Keting?
So before the program, I was working in Hong Kong and mainland China in market research. And also I had volunteering experience in India.
So I know you're a second year, so you had the summer internship experience, which I haven't come up to yet. So what did you do during last summer?
So during the summer, I have actually 2 sides of me. One is a volunteer side for a local innovation center. I have the local startup to launch their new products and have some local community events. Another side is a commercial field. I work for Maquiladora. They're based in Tijuana, Mexico, but the office is in San Diego. So I basically help them in doing business between Asia and Latin America. I know you're just a first-year student, and do you have a favorite class right now?
So seeing as how I'm a first year, I'm only in my second quarter, but we're nearing the end. So I've kind of got a feeling for, I've had a taste of 1 or 2 electives on top of the core classes. So far, I've really enjoyed the language classes because I think they're much smaller than the regular core classes, generally about 8 to 10 people per language class. And I really enjoy the personalities of our professors. I think that's what really makes a class very enjoyable. It's seeing how much a professor really cares about the subject. And I think I've definitely seen that in QM2 as well, actually. We're now going to go meet Professor Junjie Zhang, who teaches environmental policy here at IRPS and also researches climate change, water resources, and fisheries. He's recently been working specifically on this project on renewable energy in China. So we're going to go over and check him out now.
Vámonos. Hi, Professor Zhang. So we are really interested in knowing more about you.
Well, my name is Junjie Zhang, and I'm an assistant professor of environmental economics at IRPS. And I have been here for 5 years, and I teach a couple of courses in environmental economics. I'm also doing research in the applied issues in environment and energy and natural resources and climate change.
So I remember taking your prep course actually in economics, and you talked a little bit at the time about how you proposed to your wife. So I'm actually interested in hearing a little more about where you're originally from and why you chose to pursue a career in academia.
I'm originally from China, and I got my bachelor degrees and I have 2 bachelor degrees and 1 master degree from China and from Renmin University and Tsinghua University respectively. And then I decided to come to the United States for a PhD degree because the United States, in my field, this is the best place that I can study and do research. So I went to Duke University in North Carolina. I studied in the Nicholas School of the Environment, and I got my PhD in 2008. And then I got a job in IRPS, so I came to IRPS.
Most faculty in IRPS have very strong research agenda. So what are you working on now?
I'm working on a number of things. And one topic that I'm working on, you might be interested, that's the air pollution in China. Air pollution in China is pretty bad in recent years after 3 decades of rapid economic growth with lax environmental regulation in China. So many cities in China actually suffered from very severe air pollution problems. And since about 1 decade ago, Chinese government the central government requested local governments to disclose their air pollution information. So this is published like the daily air pollution reports. So my research question is to ask whether or not these published environmental information, they're true information, or some information they are cooked, right? So my research project, you can read the formulas on that whiteboard. Of course, you can see in the camera, and so this project we try to identify these spurious data in China's daily air pollution reports. We develop methodology, econometric methods to identify these spurious cities. They may report this this abnormal air pollution data. So this is the one project that I'm working on. It's pretty interesting. This project is pretty much close to the end, and I'm working with a PhD student from the economics department, and we use multiple methods, and we pretty much sure that we found that in our data, slightly above 50% of the cities, they reported very suspicious environmental data. So we can rank these cities by the likelihood of manipulation, and hopefully that our methodology will help the central government to identify these cities and to make them more honest in reporting their environmental data. I also with another center at Scripps, that the CNBC, that's the Center for Marine Biodiversity Conservation Center. So I work with them. I also actually I teach for that program. So I do also for my research projects in China, working on climate change, on carbon market, on the climate technology needs assessment projects. These all I have collaboration with the engineers at the Tsinghua University. So for environment studies, for research, education, so that's why I strongly encourage the students in my class to take courses in other departments, talk with engineering students, with science students, because in this field, in nature, it's a very interdisciplinary.
So you mentioned working with a PhD student in one of your projects. I was wondering, what do you enjoy most about teaching and working with graduate students?
Yes, I enjoyed working with students here, including all the graduate students at RPS and also in other departments. In my class, during my teaching, I enjoyed teaching very much because the students at RPS are so active. So when I'm asking a question, actually, I can learn more from asking that questions because our students from a very diverse background, and many students, and especially our newly created MAS program, this one-year master program, we bring in these students with at least 5 years of working experience, and so they have many experience and related to industry, to government, to NGOs, so they can feed back to the classroom. So I enjoy that discussion. And also for RPS students, I enjoyed working with them in my research projects. In every year, I hired a graduate research assistant for my project, and so I have been working with at least 5 IRPS research assistants from me, and these students, all of them, they have done a fantastic job. I even co-authored a paper with a student, and working on the how do California fishermen, how do they view climate change, right? So that's a very interesting project, and actually that project helped the student to get a job in the federal government in USAID. And so in this experience, and the students and professors, and include me, of course, we learn from each other. And this is a very useful process, and this is very beneficial. So I like to work with the students at RPS. Thank you. I
Thank you.
enjoyed our
Yeah.
conversation.
Shall we?
Yeah.
It's nice listening to you.
Yeah. Thank you.